How's everybody doing this evening? Hope we're all preparing for Christmas. I'm kind of looking forward to some time off work. This is, where are we at? Wednesday night. I've got a couple more days of work and then I'm off for a week and a half, which will be pretty nice. I'll be out of town for a lot of that time. I'll try to get a video uploaded while I'm gone. I don't know what it'll be. I'm taking my headless guitar with me. Got the neck off right now, ready to put it in the suitcase and take it with me on vacation, so I'll have something to play around with. In the meantime, sitting around here trying to stay warm. It's a little cold outside. Got my doggie back here behind me. That's where she likes to lay. I think that's a warm spot. So, I got, by the way, I appreciate the subscribers. We're creeping up on 1,000, which is pretty cool. Like I've said before, I really didn't expect much when I started recording stuff on this channel, because I'm certainly not an expert. I'm not a great player. I'm not an expert guitar builder. I'm decent at working on them. I'm pretty good at getting guitars where they sound good in other people's hands. Not as much in mine, but anyway. So if you haven't subscribed yet, I really do appreciate it. I like the comments. I like the feedback and the interaction with people that are, sincere about what they're saying. I'm not much of a pedal guy, because I'm not a great player. I'm not gigging. I'm not playing with other people. I don't have a lot of use for pedals. I like the sounds I can get out of my Positive Grid Spark amps. And I've got some cheap pedals, but I've never really had anything. It's just not something I use very often, but I want to. I've been using my looper quite a bit here lately. It's just a little cheap Flamma, I think is the name. I got this off of Amazon, pretty cheap, and it works really well. It's really helped me with some of my practice routines, trying to learn scales and play those scales in a way that sounds a little bit more musical. Which is helpful for me. My wife for Christmas got me this little powered pedal board, which is kind of cool. I like it because I can plug one wall wart in and then have power for whatever pedals I'm running. It makes things a lot simpler. I've got a handful of little cheap Behringer pedals, because I think when I first bought them, they were like $20 a piece. And I know that those are not for serious musicians. I don't think I've ever seen anybody gig with a Behringer pedal. But I'm not saying you couldn't. I just don't think people do. They're modeled after Boss pedals, which from what I understand are kind of the standard for quality and durability. So the circuitry is modeled after those, but structurally they're plastic housings. I'm not sure how durable they are. I've never had a problem with one, but again, I'm not dragging them around on stages in bars. I built this Princeton Reverb amp from the Mojo Tone kit a while back, and I like it. I love having reverb built into the amp. The problem with a built-in reverb is you don't have much optionality. For example, on the Princeton Reverb, you've got one knob and it's reverb, and that's you dial up the intensity of the reverb, you dial it down. You don't have any control over the decay length. The decay length is pretty much determined by the structure of the reverb tank, how long the strings are, how long it takes them to to settle back down. And so if you want to change the decay on your reverb, you pretty much have to change your reverb tank. I've got this, man, I don't even know what brand this is, and it doesn't really say. EC maybe. It's a little mini reverb. And it's kind of cool. I mean, it's got some cool features. It's got a room, spring, or well. So those are your options. It's got a level, a decay time, and a dry wet knob. And it works. It works pretty well. I don't have any complaints with it. The spring setting doesn't sound exactly like the spring reverb, but it's pretty close. I've also got this vintage delay from Behringer. It's a decent delay. It's got repeat rate, intensity, and echo, which I think is the duration, how long it's going to go on. The repeat rate, I guess, is how fast, and the intensity is how the level of output. It works too, but I wanted a better couple of pedals, and I've seen a lot of combined reverb delay pedals, and I settled on this one. The Atlantic delay and reverb from Nuix. They are, I think, about $159 on Amazon. This one was an open box, and I think it was 120 something. Yeah, inspected by Amazon. Everything was in here. It's got the foam padding. It had the little instruction manual. Still had the Nuix sticker in it. The warranty card. I'm pretty sure that's everything that originally came in this box. The box itself was a little beat up, but that's okay. I'm bad about keeping boxes, and I get tired of having boxes sitting around, and I tell myself I should throw them away, but it's hard to throw them away. This even still has some plastic on these knobs right here, which is interesting. Not sure if somebody just bought this and just returned it. I hope it works. I mean, you never know when you're getting stuff from Amazon like that. You never know what you're going to get. So we've got our input on the right side, mono output, stereo output, 9-volt in. This has a input level. It's got plus 4 dB or minus 10 dB. I guess if you've got a real weak input, you can boost it a little bit. It's got serial or parallel function, which means you can run these two effects simultaneously out, or you can run them in order. And there's a way to adjust it to where you put the reverb first followed by the delay, or you can put the delay first followed by the reverb. I think I'm going to put that on parallel, which is running them both at the same time, and see how that sounds. On the delay, you've got the level, the time, and the repeat, how long it's going to repeat. Up here, you've got a little three-way switch, 70s, 60s, or 80s. I think the 80s goes a little faster. The repeat rate goes up faster than the other ones. I think it's the 60s has some type of a special feature. I'll have to relook at the instructions to see what that is. On the reverb, you've got the level and the decay rate. and then you've got spring, plate, and hull are your three options there. You've also got what's called a shimmer effect. I don't know what that is for sure. And I think it only works on one of these settings, but you hold it down and it creates a shimmer effect for as long as you've got the button held down. You've also got a tap feature on the delay, and I think it works on the 70s, or maybe that's on the 60s, where you can try to synchronize some things if you've got multiple effects going. Anyway, it's also got a USB, looks like a USB, maybe that's a USB micro or a USB-C on the back, probably for firmware updates and things like that. So we'll get it hooked up, see what we think. All right, I've currently got my reverb and trim completely off on the amplifier. Bass on 4, treble on 6, volume on 5. No other effects on. Let's hit the reverb. Put it on the spring. Put the level about 50% and the decay on about 50%. Pretty nice, warm sound. Crank the level on up to max. Got the decay all the way up, and it certainly drags it out there for a while. Turn both back down to about 50%. Switch to the plate. A little bit of a different sound. And then the hull, which I always kind of like the hull sounds. Both about 2/3 of the way up now. All right, not bad. Gives you some nice options. Certainly dial in your sound a little bit better than you can just with the reverb on the amp. Let's play with this delay a little bit, see what we can do. It's on the 70s. Again, I'll put my everything on around 50%. Go to that 60s. I can't tell much difference. I think one of the things, look at this book here. The 70s gives you the option between 40 milliseconds and 400 milliseconds. Retro delay meets modern technology. The 60s gives you 55 milliseconds to 550 and is supposed to be a warm and dusty tape echo machine effect. And when you turn the repeat knob to max and use the time knob to get an experience just like the real tape echo machine. And then the 80s gives you 80 milliseconds to 800, a digital era invention, crystal clear repeats, digitally copied clean repeats, carries your signal without absolutely zero color particles. Somebody's English was not their first language. Let's go to the 80s real quick and see what we've got there. Yeah, very robotic, I would say. Turn the time up all the way. Turn the repeat up all the way. Kind of a cool little beat going there. Turn the time way down. It almost sounds like a computer. So let's go back to the 60s. Turn that repeat, what did it say? Turn the repeat knob to the max. That was wild. I'm not really sure what to think about that. Turn that repeat way down. I don't think having the repeat all the way up is good. You're going to get a pretty serious feedback loop there. All right, turn that delay off. I want to go back to this. What was the shimmer control? It said choose the plate reverb, then hold the reverb foot switch for as long as you want. So let's turn that on. That's pretty cool. Certainly up too high, but I wanted to give you a good idea of what it sounds like. It's a good sounding reverb. It's a nice metal, heavy pedal. I don't have any Velcro on it yet, so it's not really sticking to my pedal board. But I think it will be a more than adequate replacement for these two devices that I've had on there. I really want a better overdrive pedal. I'm got a couple of these little Behringers. I'm not sure what to get. One of these Behringers is a copy of a Tube Screamer. The other one is a copy of a Boss pedal, and I can't remember which Boss pedal, but it's Behringer calls it the Ultra Metal, and it's got quite a few adjustment features on it. You can kind of dial in a variety of things, and again, it's workable. It serves the purpose, but I want a real pedal. Kind of thought about getting the ODR one just because that's really popular right now. Everybody's talking about it. Bukovic has sung their praises on his channel quite a bit, and so now everybody's using them. I don't want to necessarily jump on the bandwagon, but I do want something that's legitimate and kind of well known, so that I know what to expect from it. Some of this other stuff I just don't know what to expect, and I haven't had enough experience with pedals to really know what they should sound like or what the purpose of that pedal is. I think my main reason for using an overdrive pedal right now is to get some distorted tones without necessarily having to crank my amp up as loud. I'm practicing playing here in my living room. I don't need to turn this Princeton up to 8 or 9 to get some distorted tones. I would like to be able to get them down around 3 where it's tolerable to listen to. So let me know what you think, what your ideas on a distortion or an overdrive pedal is. What do you use and what do you like about it? I'm gonna try to get something after I get back from vacation, and I'll put it on the channel and do a little review, and we'll discuss what my thoughts are on that. In the meantime, hope everybody has a good Christmas. I'm gonna play with this NUX Atlantic a little bit more. Try to make sure I don't repeat whatever that sound was that I got a little bit ago, because that was a very unpleasant feedback loop. Anyway, you guys take care. Have a good Christmas. I probably won't post another video before Christmas, so I hope everybody has a good holiday. Take care.